On the fringe of Cardassian space lies a mineral research station called Miss Livy 27. It is here that we have discovered the source of Gul Kantar's newfound rebellious nature. His battle blood seems to be flowing as a result of a powerful new weapon. This weapon is known as a quantum singularity ship. It appears that the quantum singularity ship is capable of gating in powerful technologies of an unknown origin. This ship was recently detected on the far side of the Ketch-Tor belt, in an area infested with Cardassian ships. We must capture this ship and discover its secrets. Build up the Starbase's strength and make our forces ready for battle. We must strike with a powerful fist. Get that ship! On to victory!
Hi guys, and welcome back to Star Trek Armada 2, and this is the 5th mission with the Klingons. We have noticed that the Cardassians decided to try and use Species 8472 against us in the last mission, which has bumped up their threat level somewhat, and thus we are going to steal their technology.
Immediately.
Which, to be honest, they kinda deserve.
Immediately.
Just going to get built up fairly quickly. I'm going to once again be using birds of prey to scout rather than the Nukja class. The class is okay just because they can detect cloak, but really I'll just use scout ships to get a decent look at the map rather than any other reason.
Excellent plan.
And off we go.
There is no threat here.
He's pretty right on that front. The Cardassians aren't very threatening in this mission at all, so we get a lot of time to build up and work our fleets into a decent position.
Immediately.
We even get an M-class planet to play around with.
Yes.
Martok's just going to sit by the base as he always does, and he doesn't really do much, to tell you the truth. Let's wait for this construction ship to get over there.
Station construction has begun.
As you can see, the Cardassians spawn in, but they're only small ships, and they're absolutely no match whatsoever for a starbase, so I'm afraid that they're going to have to send a lot more than that before I get concerned.
Our new battle station is complete.
Anyway, there we go. We have metal mining now. And I'm going to build a second starbase because I'm going to need it for the personnel. Ugh, annoying scouting bird of prey. And I'm going to want one there just for the latinum that's available.
Right away.
And we're going to put the advanced shipyard down. We're pretty quick in this mission at getting the more advanced buildings down, but that's mainly due to the fact the Cardassians aren't just putting any pressure on us at all. I don't know if I'm even going to bother building Vulture-class attack ships in this level, because the only reason you'd build them is because you need them to hold off some kind of assault, and the Cardassians just aren't coming in big enough numbers for that. Since I can't yet research the ion cannon for theives, I don't know if I can even build them at the moment, I am going to research the commando team for the Sukjar class ship. It'll allow me to take over Cardassian ships and bases a heck of a lot easier. The Sukjar's an interesting ship. It was pretty powerful in Armada 1 just because it was essentially a torpedo cruiser, but it seems really weak in Armada 2. It's really just another version of a marine vessel. But I'll build them for the pure and simple plan that I want them available in this mission. It makes things a little bit easier. And they do give me at least something to attack stuff with in the early part of the game. Starbase is almost complete now, so when that's done I will go after the dilithium mine at the bottom, and that'll give me the resources necessary to build up a pretty big fleet. Yeah, let's just move him down here.
We have a new ship.
And I will build a couple of dilithium freighters here just to get things going.
We have created a new weapon.
As you can see, Martok's still
We have a new ship for the
Martok's still all about combat as much as it possibly can be.
is complete.
Okay, that's the advanced shipyard built. I'm going to keep building suit jars. I'm going to get a colony ship for the, well, because I want to colonize that M-class planet, because the one thing that suit jars do is they take up a hell of a lot of crew, like 350 per ship, which is as much as an 8-vars, so I'm afraid that you need a lot of structures producing crew, at least as much as you possibly can. Got the trade centre, or at least going to build the trade centre when I have enough dilithium, but I'm going to solve that dilithium shortage now just by building a refinery. I am sorry about the delay between episode 14 and 15, but a few things have just taken up my time. I have completed the Klingon missions now, so hopefully I can produce videos a little bit quicker now. But one other thing that I've done in the meantime, I have actually just today downloaded Star Trek Online, so
beginning construction.
Excellent. A wormhole has opened up in Sector 6. Time to go for the prize. Victory awaits us.
So I will at least be giving that a little bit of a look-see, and if I like it, I might do some videos for it, or just play around on it for a bit, but I'm not sure how much time I'll have to play on it, to be honest, at the moment. I'm going to build a Greythor armory here so that I can build both torpedo turrets and I can move on to some more advanced ships.
Station construction has begun. We have a new ship for the
Additionally, we've now found the wormhole that will take us into Cardassian space, and I decided just to wait for 8-vars here. The Cardassians aren't putting us under any pressure whatsoever, so I can just build my fleet up as and how I'd like it. And me being me, I now have some trade stations at the ready, and they'll begin to produce some resources for us. I'm being a bit of an idiot here and thinking the construction ship isn't building it. It is building it. It's just that when the construction ship is a certain distance away, it doesn't put the shadow of the station down until it gets to within a certain distance. And now the Greythor armory is down, I'm going to put the Imperial Research Facility down, which will allow me to both upgrade my fleets and build 8-vars. Alright, I can't research the ion cannon yet, but they're still a lot more powerful than any other ship that the Klingons can build at this point in time.
Where is the enemy?
And here you go, I have a full fleet of Sukhjar class ships. And at this point in the game, I was not really that aware of their combat capabilities, or lack thereof, so I'm going to storm straight into where the Cardassians are. Worst case scenario, I might be able to steal a couple of ships. That's quite a lot of ships. And I screw up the interface, which makes things a little bit worse. There we go. That's the commando team. Unfortunately, I think that ship might be destroyed before I get to steal it. Nope, nope. As you can see, it really did. A lot of ships there ended up, a lot of crew ended up on that ship. But I'm getting absolutely massacred here, and this really hasn't gone too well at all. Good grief, Sukhjar ships are weak. They're just not, they're just barely even firing. Well, let's try and take, oh, well, we can't take that. And unfortunately this phaser turret's going to take down the Keldon class ship as well, so that was pretty much an unmitigated disaster, and suit yard ships have not impressed me whatsoever. Still, I'm going to replace the ones that I've lost, just because if you've got a bad idea, god damn it, I'm going to stick with it right to the end. And I'm going to send a construction ship up here to plonk a starbase down there to make sure that we have completely and utterly secured this area of the map. And with the Imperial Research Facility built, I'm going to pump up our weapons. And I'm going to rebuild my advanced shipyard up here. And I'll disassemble the one that I have down there for the materials. It's just bringing your shipbuilding facilities a little bit closer to the front lines. Makes things a lot easier for you in the long run. It gives you a shorter area too. Yeah, it gives you a shorter area to go to repair your ships. How did they sneak past? Need to build some sensor turrets.
Right away.
Speaking of sensor turrets, there we go.
A new battle station is complete. We cannot build there.
Just got to make sure that we've got at least some coverage of the area.
Salvage station.
And there we go, disassembling the advanced shipyard because it's not needed there anymore. And let's repair our damaged fleet that really didn't distinguish itself very well in that fight.
Immediately.
And with them repaired, let's put a starbase here to cover the wormhole entrance.
Construction has begun.
And I will also be putting down a sensor turret there as well, just so that I can see anything coming through. And it's time to start building theives. These ships are just so far above K-Rals, it's not funny. And with the ion cannon as well, they are just going to make a mess out of pretty much anything in their way.
Excellent plan.
I'm going to cloak this bird of prey and send it through the wormhole, but then I get a little bit of a secondary idea. This probably isn't worth doing, but
We have a new ship for the fleet.
yeah, I'm not too sure that's worth doing. There is a little bit of an exploit there, to be fair, on what you can do, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it here, but it's a pretty big use of resources.
We have created a new weapon.
And as you can see, my bird of prey has snuck into Cardassian area, so I can just go ahead and scout for a bit.
A new ship for the fleet.
Unfortunately, it won't move because it's on green alert, so therefore it's a bit scared of all the stuff around it, which is fair enough. So I'll soon be going in there and cracking it all anyway, so that doesn't really matter too much. And let's get mining this Latinum Nebula as well. Anything hiding in my base? Oh yeah! Not anymore. Yeah, just moving back to the subject of Star Trek Online, as it were there. I have enjoyed it, as I said, and what I will do, should I decide to do an LP of it, because it does seem, even though it's an MMO, it will work quite well as a LP, because most of the content is single player and the multiplayer stuff doesn't really wouldn't really fit in an LP anyway, so it's one of those things where you can show it once or twice and then just leave it alone. But what I will do is, I'm currently running a science officer through the game, but if I decide to LP it, it will be a little in the future, and what I'll do is I will essentially let you guys dictate how I do it. The only thing that I will insist on is that I will get to choose what type of character, and in keeping with the way that I've played Star Trek in Armada 1 and Armada 2, which is basically just blowing stuff up, I'm going to play a character who's going to emulate Cisco and who's basically going to blow stuff up as much as possible. So that's about all the limitations. I'll let you guys choose ship, whatever. But I think that just doing an overly aggressive run would be quite funny. What you saw me do there was build some Chuck Bear class starships, and what they are the Klingons artillery cruisers. They are humongously expensive, like prohibitively expensive, probably more than theives, I think. And to be honest, all I can tell is the only reason I can see for that is that they can cloak. That's the only reason that I see. They don't fire double like the Cardassian version, so they really are just a huge investment on resources. But I'm going to do this little exploit just to show it off. I'm not too sure that it's horrendously good, but I'm going to do it anyway. This mission is just basically all about getting as many bad ideas as possible and doing them. And as you can see, the Chuck Bears can fire into the Cardassian base from here. As usual with research platforms, they go after the individual research stations rather than going after the main central platform. And this is basically what they're going to do for the next sort of 10 minutes or so. I'll come back to it when they've managed to plink down this station's shields. And... oh, come on, stop hitting that. Hit the main research station. Its shields are gone, and it's on like 3 health. 1 health. Deaded. And the Cardassians will keep rebuilding it, and it does also mean that they lose their special weapons for a bit, so it costs them a bit of money, but to be honest, I don't think that in terms of resources it costs the Cardassians anywhere near as much as it costs us to build those ships, and it's really a tiny bit pointless. I'm going to build a secondary shipyard here, just once again, so I've got my resources on the front line, and blow out this Cardassian area so that I can secure this side of the wormhole as well. And now my bird of prey's plucked up the guts to go scouting, and I can come down to this area and take on these Cardassian platforms. Bird of prey once again not moving. I mean, it makes sense. If the sensor turret can see it, it's not going to want to move. And the Cardassians are rebuilding that research facility, and they're rebuilding it in the range of my artillery ships, which isn't tremendously smart, but we are dealing with a 10-year-old AI here, so it's not really known for, considering AI these days isn't really known for being that smart, in computer games at least. It's no surprise that 10 years ago it was even worse. Okay, so that's the Cardassian presence around here eliminated, and that will mean that I can send my construction ship through and begin to impede even further on their territory. Salvaging my shipyard that's right at the back here because it's not in a position to build my ships. That Galore class ship's an idiot because it did the classic sit in a nebula, but no, it didn't. It didn't die once its weaponry and shields etc. were below a certain level. It lived again. And it looks like the research facility is back online, and my Chuck Bear class ships are having their way with it as usual.
Construction has begun.
Just building a metal outpost here, just to get that little bit more metal. I am running a bit short on metal now, and having a planetoid that's pretty much exclusively for metal is a pretty good idea, I think. I do have quite a bit of platinum and dilithium, so if the worst came to the worst, I could always just trade it in.
We have a new ship for the fleet.
And yeah, not exactly the most sensible idea that the Cardassians ever had to rebuild it in the range of what just destroyed it, but I'm not going to argue with them. They can go ahead and do it if they want. It's up to them.
We have a new ship for the fleet. We do not have enough officers.
Okay, so I've hit the officer cap now, and just bringing this down. That might be their really advanced research facility, rather than the one which does the basic stuff. That might be the hyper advanced one, so they might not be able to produce Keldons after I destroy it. So either way, it's inconveniencing them one way or the other. So I like things that inconvenience. And there it goes again. Meanwhile, the Cardassians are being pathetic against my Natevar fleet. And once again, I'm going to move my shipbuilding facilities to the front lines. I've lost one of my suck jars again, but I'm fed up of rebuilding them now, so off they go through the wormhole. And so does this bird of prey, so can have a bit of a scout round. Now there's a planet towards the bottom left of the map, so I'm going to let my bird of prey go off and have a look at it. But really we're now in the case of just getting ready to build up for the final attack. And as you can see, there's still 20 minutes to go, so the final attack is a bit of a plodding one. But cutting the Cardassians off of their knees is usually the best way to do things here. I have hit the officer cap, so just my resources are going to continue to climb for the moment, and I do have a pretty big fleet at my disposal. Does mean I can't expand that much, but you can't really have everything. And I'm just going to move down here with my suck jars because there's nothing really that threatening, so they're just going to be able to take out stuff at their leisure here. Revenge against a colony ship, whatever you want to say. Don't really know why the Cardassians are using colony ships in this sector. There's nowhere that can be colonized. I will colonize this gas giant. That didn't really go too well. Yep, more bad ideas from Boomer. It's time to use... I'm going to use my capsules from the suck jars to capture this metal platform, which is absolutely knackered. But after a hell of a lot of recrewing and spraying it with repair paint and whatever, we get it back online. And I'm going to build a dilithium mining facility down here. I'll just recycle some of my ships. Natevar's on the move. Mining freighter, we can't have that. The computer does seem to do quite a lot of long-range mining in Armada 2, and that just seems really bad. I don't know what the theory behind it is, but who am I to criticise? Cargo ships going back and forward, and as you can see I'm fully upgraded, so the one downside is that my dilithium moons are beginning to run out. So I mean, it's not really that big a deal. If you look in the top left hand corner, I've got 15,000 dilithium, so it's not really a big thing. And we've got this dilithium moon to take over, so let's go ahead and do that. God almighty.
Station construction has begun.
It's like, still not working. And now, time for some failure. I mean, they've been okay for now, but the Cardassians finally got it in their heads to build their research facility not in range of my chuck bears. And unfortunately they've took the idiot route into this area, which means through a nebula, which means they lose their cloaks. So therefore this attack has failed before it's even begun, and they're not even bothering to remain outside to the range of these turrets, so they have just hit the failure button 110%. And I don't think they're going to even be able to take down this phaser turret on their own before they're all destroyed. So, yep, that's what I'm going to do. You are going to be salvaged, you are awful, assuming you even manage to make it back to the shipyard. I hate you and I will never build you again. Now let's do this properly. Oh, there we go, stuff to be salvaged. Oh wait, no, these guys are going to limp into the... these guys are going to limp to the dilithium refinery, so should be there about 3 weeks next Tuesday. Theives have taken the same route. Look where I sent them. Look where I clicked on for the theives, and they've managed to take that route. You have to really handhold the ships in this game. Random sensor turret planted where no one bothered, and a Galore class that was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Having said that, though, Galore classes are pretty much always in the wrong place at the wrong time. And using the spare officers that I got from getting rid of the Chuck Bear ships, I'm going to build some ships that actually matter. I'm setting the theives on yellow alert because the last thing I want them to do is go on red alert, go in there all guns blazing and destroy the quantum singularity ship, because this mission has gone on long enough and I'm not having it go that badly wrong. Yeah, you'll notice this bird of prey has one crew member on board, but that crew member was good enough, it got back home.
Excellent plan.
Cloak you and off you go again. I think that was mainly due to the bird of prey just decided to keep going through nebulas and eventually almost killed itself. Now then, I thought that it would be interesting for you guys, because usually you don't see me fail missions. Well, I think it's time you saw it happen, so let's see how this goes. It's usually pretty hard to fail missions in Star Trek Armada, to be fair, but you can take damage to such an extent that you will you'll be set back a long way, but it's very rare that you will actually fail a mission. Certainly not one where your mission is to destroy X. If you're defending a really... Escort quests are about all you can end up being failing for. I mean, considering the hero ships are made of paper in Star Trek Armada 2, that's also another thing that can happen, that they will be destroyed, but doesn't happen all that often. And oh, while I'm here, it wouldn't be me without completely cooking the life off the planet, but then I decide the best course of action is just to take it through the use of transporters. And since it's close to the Cardassians,
A battle has begun.
yeah, destroy them. I hate that ship. Recrew it, and when the Cardassians have finished committing suicide, not very good at that, are they? Yeah, stay where you are so I can control you. I'm going to repair my ships because they seem to be having a hard time keeping their shields up at the moment, so I'll send them back home, and I'm going to stick a planetary shield on here just to give me a little bit of a safety net in case the Cardassians attack. Yeah, I've got my spare theives there in case things go a little bit awry. Oh, so you thought you'd be clever and mine my planet, would you? This is still my planet, by the way. We can't have that. Away with your things. You're not allowed resources. This is where I forgot I'd set my theives on like no movement autonomy and green alert. So. Wow, he didn't even get to stop his warp. He just died. I'm being a little bit greedy here and going after their ships. But then again, being greedy is pretty awesome in this game, and you can get away with it. So, Cardassians being foolish, just throwing their ships to the wind. You'll see here the Cardassians have enough ships to cause me a bit of heartache, but they just keep sending them in one by one. Come on, guys, I want a Keldon. Nope, not gonna get one.
Yes. We are ready for battle.
You can see this is pretty big setup. I'm trying to lure the Cardassians out so I don't get into a massive furball when I'm in their base. I want to be able to surgically attack more than anything else. Yeah, kill the colony ship. That's going to defend well. Oh, Legate class ship, is it? Yeah, you just die on sight due to what you are. And here we are at the Cardassian base. And it's time for a bit of failure. Here we go. Theives, go! There's the Quantum Singularity ship, not this Keldon class, this ship.
Now that you've captured the Quantum Singularity ship, bring it back to the base. But remember, bring it back in one piece.
Yep, I'll get right on that after I've cleared out this Cardassian base. It was nice of them to lower the shields on that Quantum Singularity ship. It made things a lot easier for me. Trashing your base. The ion kind of make this a lot easier, but like my ships are just well in for the party now. Destroying Starbase. Wait, no, get back here, get back here, get back here, no!
Funny, I don't recall that being one of your orders. You are a fool.
That was bad enough without Martok rubbing it in like that. Okay then, let's do this a different way, shall we? Let's try that again. I'm going to go for the hilarious version. Also means no reinforcements, which is quite nice. Stealing your shipyard. Yeah, all my vultures are going to die for this, but this is going to be hysterical, taking their shipyard. Oh look, the Quantum Singularity ships come out to me. All the torpedo turrets have just decided to take out their own starbase. No, don't shoot! Oh my god. Was that really necessary? I hate you ships. I'm going to end up... I'm never building you again. Looks like they've obliterated just about every piece of technology on the Quantum Singularity ship. I hope the Singularity generator's okay. I want to take over this station, but unfortunately it looks like the Suckjars have now just gone for pure and utter mutiny instead. So, yeah, they realise that their day's up, so they're just going to piss me off now for the rest of this level.
Get us moving.
And once again, they're completely and utterly failing at destroying anything. So, I think it's time to bring in the. I think it's time to bring in the heavy guns here. Or at least it will be very shortly. Oh no, they've not been completely useless, it seems. I mean, look how long it's taking them to destroy a trading station that has no shields. Give me any power, never mind more power. God. Nope, still can't take this research institute. Maybe if I got closer. No, still not letting me take over this research institute.
We need repairs.
You need to just go away from this game. And in fact, they're disobeying me completely and just going to wander to their deaths. Shall we just do this properly with a fleet of ships that know what they're doing?
A battle has begun.
Oh, apparently they don't know what they're doing because they're just going to sit in a life-draining nebula. Right, just smash everything, okay?
The day will be ours. Let loose the dogs of war. Let loose the dogs of war.
Let loose the dogs of war. Let loose the dogs of war. Give the Patach his due. 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 The day will be ours.
A battle has begun. Beginning construction.
The day will be ours. The day will be ours.
We have a new ship for the fleet.
Wraithor will be paved with their ashes. Give the Patach his due. For the Empire.
We have a new ship for the fleet. A battle has begun.
Give the Patach his due. Let loose the dogs of war. The day will be ours. The day will be ours.
We have a new ship for the fleet. We've entered a dangerous nebula. We've entered a dangerous nebula.
Let loose the dogs of war. Wraithor will be paved with their ashes.
We have a new ship for the fleet.
Let loose the dogs of war. Wraithor will be paved with their ashes. Let loose the dogs of war.
A battle has begun. We have a new ship for the fleet.
Give the Patach his due.
I think that's my point adequately made. Yeah, go construction ship, beat up their repair ship. I am limping a construction ship up here because unfortunately I have to. I'm also building some repair ships because even though they can't repair the Kulinor class ship's engines, they can at least get its shields, weapons and everything else that matters operational. So let's get on board.
Now that you've captured the Quantum Singularity ship, bring it back to the base. But remember, bring it back in one piece.
Yeah, that's kind of the gimmick of this level, that despite repair ships working perfectly well on everything else throughout the entire game, for some reason your repair ship cannot repair the engines of this Kulinor class ship. So the only way to drag it back to your base is to get a construction ship. As you can see, here are my repair ships. They're going to fix everything. And as you can see, everything being fixed quite nicely. Shields, sensors and weapons, but the engine part isn't budging. So the only way we're going to get this home is to use our construction ship's tractor beam to literally drag it back to our starbase, which is a little bit embarrassing really, but it's going to have an escort of 13 8-var class ships, so that's a fairly decent escort overall. And my construction ship is now going to lock on to that Kulinor class ship. There we go. And now it's time to drag it home. And with the Cardassians all destroyed at this point, I have cleansed the sector completely. It's going to be a pretty uneventful journey home, really. Nothing too eventful for us to bother with. Anyway, we are going to guard. And I have to tell them to guard the construction ship, because for some reason they won't guard the Kulinor class ship, but either way, it doesn't matter. There's just way too much firepower here for the Cardassians to get through. I obviously send the theives in first, just in case somehow something cloaked its way in towards my starbase, but I'm afraid there's not really anything to worry about. I do like the look of a fleet that large going through a wormhole, though. It's quite cool. And here we go. We are back at the starbase. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next episode.
You've done it. Your name shall be remembered with honor. Now, to discover the secrets that lie within that vessel.